Hey, welcome in, or thank you for sticking here with us in downtown Indianapolis. This is South Street Square Park this morning. As you zoom on into some of the skyline there, you can see the grass is a little dry to start, maybe a little bit humid, but we are getting back to that summer pattern, so you can expect the humidity to be sticking around with us this weekend. Good morning to you. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome back in here to 13 Sunrise, and welcome to Friday. I don't know if that's welcome to your weekend just yet. I like to start celebrating as early as possible.
Same. I do it on Tuesday, actually. Start
okay.
celebrating the weekend. I encourage you to do the same. But as you said, welcome in here to Friday at 6 o'clock. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Matt here this morning. We are hitting the weekend. And you said that it looked pretty dry out there. Well, guess what?
Right.
We're going to get some relief from that this weekend.
Yeah, we are going to have some rain that's starting to come down. Yeah, there's a little bit of morning dew on the grass, but that's about it.
That's about it. That's all you're going to get. Yeah. But this weekend, no, it'll be falling from the sky.
Okay.
It does look like the whole weekend does look wet.
Okay.
But we could use another 2 or 3 inches of rainfall. That would be
way to look
good.
at it.
Yeah, the crops will get a nice sip of water, I think, this weekend too. But for some families, this is the first weekend after starting school.
I know.
And you just want to be outside and enjoy it. You already had to start school so early compared to everyone else, but it looks wet. We'll get some fun times inside though. Right now, we're dry. We actually have a really nice Friday for the most part. It's later this evening, let's say 6 or 7 o'clock, where some scattered showers will start moving in, and they'll be on the light side too. We'll have the majority of our rainfall on Saturday and Sunday. This morning, skies are still mainly clear, especially when you look in the easterly direction. That's where our high pressure is, and it's moving away from us. I think we're going to have a stunning sky out there this morning. But right now in Bloomington, we're generally in the 60s to 62 right now around the campus of IU. Still holding on to 70 in Indy, but you get outside of Indianapolis, we mainly have the 60s. 62 in Muncie, 64 reporting in Lafayette, and 61, good morning, in Richmond. We're all running a couple of degrees warmer this morning. There's also a little bit of patchy fog, but for the most part, we're all right. It is going to be another back-to-school start for us for some school districts across the state. Quiet start though. You don't have to worry about the weather, and the rain should hold off even after the time school lets out. And a lot of our practices can also be dry. It's later this evening, 6, 7 o'clock, when some of these scattered showers will come in. I think the first wave will be fairly light. We'll get some light rain coming in, but overnight and into your Saturday, we'll have a few thunderstorms. So coming up, we'll talk about the timing of rain and thunder throughout your entire weekend and let you know how much rainfall we expect. But let's go ahead and talk about traffic this morning. You may not see it quite on our traffic maps just yet, but I had a report of a crash on I-70 westbound between Centerville and Cambridge City. So it's just past that new travel stop, that rest stop that's being built there west of Centerville. You're not seeing any traffic impacts yet. This is a live look from Cambridge City. You're looking out towards Centerville. By the way, you can see some of the fog in eastern Indiana from some of these cameras. And by the way, the sky looks beautiful out there. I think we're having a stunning sunrise. But it looks like traffic's still flowing. So just want to keep a quick update on the one crash that I have. Otherwise, I have no crashes. We're looking pretty good this morning on the northeast side as well. Julia?
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, this morning, IMPD is busy investigating 3 separate shootings since 9 o'clock last night.
2 of them are deadly. We shared the news as it was breaking last night at 11. The latest one started around 11:20, police say. They responded to North Parker Avenue near East 37th Street. When they arrived, they didn't find a victim, but a man later showed up at the hospital with gunshot wounds, and police said the victim shared that he was injured at the location officers were called out to. At last check, he's listed as stable in his condition.
And to the first fatal shooting, this one happened on Hendricks Place. This is near the east side, near Washington Street and State Avenue. So this call came in around 9:30 last night. Police do confirm they found a woman who'd been killed. They say they do have a person of interest in custody. We are still waiting to find out what the investigators believe led up to that shooting.
Well, just 3 minutes after the first shooting, IMPD responded here to Hovenweep Way. This is near 46 and German Church Road. Police say the victim was found, though, somewhere else on North Franklin Road. They believe that someone drove the victim away from the original shooting scene. They were taken to the hospital where they later died. Police are asking anyone who knows anything about those 3 shootings to reach out.
Well, a vigil for a fallen town marshal drew hundreds of people to a baseball diamond in Lynn, Indiana yesterday. Many of them wanting to pay their respects to the town marshal, Brad Fishers, who was killed Wednesday during a chase.
Fisher was setting out tire deflation systems when he was hit by the suspect running from police. Police say the 34-year-old woman was trying to drive away from officers in a stolen car. She lost control and eventually crashed into a dump truck. She was taken to a hospital for her injuries.
And during the vigil last night, Fisher's daughter spoke.
You're in the arms of Jesus now, Daddy. You have fought the greatest fight. And I know you walked through those beautiful gates of heaven and you heard the words, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Bub and I will take care of Mom for you, just like you did us all those years. And don't worry, we'll even help take care of the town of Lynn that you love so deeply.
This is one of many early tributes since Fisher's death. No word on any official funeral arrangements, but if we learn more information of any public visitations, we'll be sure to let you know.
Well, families know that child care is really one of the most expensive care costs that you actually face.
Yeah, the state is considering some changes to help try and cut costs, but some child care advocates say that what's being put on the table isn't enough. Anna Chalker is live with why some advocates say splitting the bill might be the best option. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, ladies. If the state's proposal were to pass today, more of these child care costs would go onto the parents and these prices would start to increase. And some of these child care advocates say that move would take away a focus of education within our daycare centers. And this is because the state has decided they want to lower the education requirements for daycare center staff to save on administrative costs. But those against this say instead employers, the state, and parents should all evenly share the cost of care. Those advocates say when parents get the brunt of this and requirements and quality are taken away, the kids would suffer the most.
Putting somebody that has no training in a daycare and then telling you that you have less administrative costs, you're going to spend more time training that person.
So to keep a close eye on the training and quality here in these centers, the state already has a rating system. It's called Paths to Quality. Providers can voluntarily earn higher ratings by employing staff with higher education levels or investing in some more training. This also comes with higher state reimbursement rates for the children who are receiving assistance here in this state. And you may remember last week, the state implemented another push to really lower these costs, and it involves businesses here in our states and expanding the tax credits. So coming up, we'll show you what that has looked like, what the governor was asking for, but also a public hearing that's coming up on Monday that you can be a part of if you want to have a voice in this conversation of what the affordability could look like for our child care centers.
And that really might be the only way parents come out on top, is if they go to these meetings and sound the alarm. Thanks so much, Anna.
Right at 6:08 this morning, the future of one Crown Hill neighborhood landmark is up for debate. And the people who live there, they want to say in what comes next.
So last night, neighbors, they packed a community listening session. They want to be a part of shaping the future, and especially of a former church building in that neighborhood. Marina is in studio with what residents are asking for. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it all started in 2018 when Coppin Chapel AME and Life Community AME Church merged to become Crossroads AME Church, and it left one building unused. The future of the building is now in the community's hands. Church leaders are asking neighbors, not developers, to help decide what comes next. The goal, bringing resources to the neighborhood that they don't already have. Now, the pastor says 3 priorities rose to the top: better access to fresh food, a safe place for people to gather, and a space dedicated to young people.
The first listening session was all about imagination. Tonight was about prioritizing. And so now that we have prioritized and have a greater sense of the resources around us, that will better inform what type of facility that we are going to develop.
Well, this was the second of 2 listening sessions held. Reverend Davis tells us we'll get to see some of the renderings at National Night Out next Tuesday at Crown Hill Cemetery. Now, some community members also had ideas for how the old property could be used, so we'll share some of their thoughts at 6:30.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you, Marina.